I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Good morning. It's Mike and Arlen, Our Philippine Journey. Thank you for stopping by. Well, we covered the cheating girlfriend. We covered the wife wants a divorce soon as she gets her visa. As far as I'm concerned, myths or urban legends. All right. I don't think they're any more prevalent among Filipinas than they are amongst others. But instead of talking about those terrible, terrible girls, let's talk about you guys for a minute. And I think this is kind of important because a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, and that's fine as well. So, you know what? George Santayana said, "Those who cannot remember the past are doomed to repeat it." And that quote was later rebutchered by Winston Churchill that said, "Those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Well, that applies to you guys too. And we're going to tell you why that's so important and why perhaps the Philippines is not the place for you. When we talk about relationships, we talk about a lot of different things. And there's so much that plays into a relationship. The fact that so many people come to the Philippines looking for multiple things. They're looking for, we see them looking for new relationships, starting a new life, starting a new chapter in their life. We see them as digital nomads who are here for informational, and well, we see them as all types of people. But if you're coming here or contemplating coming here to start a new chapter in your life, then you need to pay attention to those two quotes. You know, none of us are perfect. We often say, and we've said it so many times, and we tend to say it quite often, you should watch every YouTuber that is offering advice about the Philippines and then research what they said. Because there's something to be learned from all of them, whether they're American, British, Australian, or Filipino. All of that being recognized, it is inherent that you apply what's happened in your past to make sure you don't make those same mistakes. It seems from what we've seen over the years, okay, we have 8+ years experience here. Both in the province and in the city. And what we've seen amongst expats and digital nomads and even vacationers, what we see often is a 180-degree turn on why they say they're here or what they expect to achieve while they're here. And when it comes to relationships, we see it more often than not, which surprises me. We started to look at some of the factors involved in this, and we were surprised by a couple of different things. The first one is failure of you to recognize if you're here to change your life, What are you going to do different from the life that you had before? Living a lifestyle that's different requires change. Are you going to change? What is different between your relationships that you had in your own country compared to what you're going to start with here? We're going to say this, and I'm not trying to be nice, okay? I think people that watch us generally know we just tell you how we honestly feel, our opinions based on what we see and our lifestyle that we lead. And our opinions, our lifestyle may not be in line with yours. And we appreciate and understand that. And you're entitled to your own opinions. But keep a couple of things in mind, especially when it comes to relationships. Relationships are built on some fundamental legs. And those legs are honesty, respect, and integrity. Perhaps the mistakes that you made in your previous country were a byproduct of those situations, whether they were yours or somebody else's. Every relationship fails not because of one person, but because both people, all right? You may not have been the one that broke the straw on the camel's back or whatever, but it takes two to tango, and it takes two to break up a relationship. Examine your own history. Examine the mistakes that you've made. We've made plenty of mistakes over our lifetimes, that's for sure. And I bet we'll make more mistakes going down the road. In fact, I don't doubt it. Try to avoid and learn from those mistakes. When you're having or entering into a relationship, be upfront, be honest, and lead a life that is consistent with what you expressed to that individual that you want and that you expect. Which leads us into the part that I find very interesting. Emotionally weak men. Now, I can't help but tell you how many times we see men who become involved in relationships, and then because they're just weak, they can't get out of them when they recognize that they're bad.
Emotional damage.
And I'm not saying they're bad for any particular reason. Relationships go bad no matter what. People grow apart, all right? You can grow apart in a month. You can find out this wasn't exactly what I thought it was to be. But even though I say that, what we have seen is people that have been in longer term relationships. And I see this more with older expats, to be honest with you. Okay? Although we have seen it with some younger expats here lately. And that is their men's inability to learn from their mistake. This relationship is a mistake. I need to get out of it. But what happens is some of these people become reliant on that relationship. They can't live without being in a relationship. And they want the security of having somebody that pretty much does 80% of what it is they want them to do. What they're really doing in many instances is they're leading their life with their wallet. They're buying that relationship's solidarity. They're buying the convenience of that relationship. Don't do that. You can't buy the correct item. It's not for sale. It's something that you find and you develop. I'm not saying that all relationships are like this, but what I am saying is this is where we see some really unique situations. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from the mistakes you made before you get here and while you're here. It's constantly a measuring tool. And when you go through all of that, then you're going to be finding the direction that you want to be in. Don't repeat history. Leave your mistakes behind and start totally clean. That's the important part. And then if you make a mistake, fix it. Get out of it or make it work. But don't stay in it just because it's convenient. All right? Don't do it. Absolutely don't. You're not going to be happy in the long run. Men are very weak sometimes when it comes to emotional security. You need to man up and be a man. You need to lead. You need to set boundaries and rules, and these are your expectations, and you stick with them. Those things are going to make you happy, whether it's financial, emotional, personal, whatever. Look, we appreciate your time. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please comment. If you haven't subscribed, please consider becoming a subscriber. And if you'd hit that thumbs up on your way out, we would certainly appreciate it, as it really helps. Thanks. Have a great day.